Employment attorney Andrew Lieb joins me again live tonight. Andrew, we always talk about the hottest cases. This is a biggie. The mandate on healthcare facilities will stand. The broader mandate on companies with 100 employees or more will probably fall. That's the consensus I read today. Do you believe that?
I do believe that, but I'm going to add in that Justice Alito gave us a further tea leaf. What he said, and he asked the United States Solicitor General, can we have an administrative stay as opposed to actually ruling? Because as you pointed out so eloquently before, Monday's the deadline. And he said these are such tough issues. So I agree with what you're saying on the OSHA standard. And as Justice Roberts said, and I love this, when it came to the Medicare and Medicaid, he said, you sign the contract. So if you sign the contract, you got to do what the government says. And I think those were two telling points from today's arguments.
So is that the core of this then, Andrew, that as employees we didn't sign the contract with the government? What is the core issue? What's the problem at the heart of this 100 employee or more mandate?
Chance, we have to differentiate the two. When I'm saying sign the contract, what we're talking about is Medicare and Medicaid dollars.
Medicare, Medicaid.
Frontline workers. And they're saying the money from the Medicare and Medicaid doctors. When we're dealing with the 100 or more employees, and that's a completely separate situation under the Commerce Clause, the issue is whether the Congress granted the authority to the OSHA, Occupational Safety and Health Administration, through the OSHA Act to make this rule. So what a lot of people are misunderstanding, and Chance, I think it's so important that we put this out there. It's not a question of whether Congress could make a vaccine mandate. In fact, Ohio acknowledged that Ohio could make a vaccine mandate. The only question when it comes to the OSHA mandate is whether Congress gave the authority to OSHA to make the mandate. And that's the question that they're debating, whether we have what's called the major questions doctrine and whether it should be the domain of Congress.
A separation of powers thing here. Okay, so as with many issues, it seems then, Andrew, that the conservatives on the court, they want states to maybe decide. State issue, that comes up a lot. That in that case, I guess, like governors, even of conservative states, could copy and paste the OSHA rule?
100% right, Chase. Governors of individual states could do it. That was beyond reproach. The most conservative of justices acknowledged that today. But I need to point out that the federalism argument as to the states wasn't the heart of it. You said it right a second ago. It was the separation of powers. What they were concerned about is why was the executive branch, the White House, doing this as opposed to Congress? And what they were pointing out, and I think that it was a very important point, is the OSHA Act is from 1970. So they couldn't have contemplated the COVID-19 vaccine. In response, the Solicitor General said the OSHA Act does provide for immunizations, though. So the question is, how broad is that language, and does it give power?
Final question then for workers. OSHA has said vaccine mandates are legal, but in some places like Texas, the governor, his executive order, banned companies from issuing mandates. If a private company wants to impose a mandate, is that legal?
As of today, in Texas, it would not be legal. In New York, it would be legal. But this new OSHA, it's called a temporary standard, emergency temporary standard, says that it preempts all the states. So if the Supreme Court does uphold it, it overrides Texas. I need to point out, though, that Monday, the deadline is only for wearing masks. February 9th is when they're going to make the testing requirement. So what you need to be doing, no matter where you are this weekend, is checking with your employers. And attorneys like me are going to be working all weekend to see if the Supreme Court issues that administrative stay that Justice Alito said.
Billable hours. Andrew Lieb, our legal in the workplace. See you soon. Thank you.
So long.